You're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Folks, most of these are probably the presenters.
Except for one.
Yeah.
Here's some details, I'm just giving. It's exactly 6:30. It's good. Hey, welcome. Perfect time. We're just gonna start. Okay, greetings and welcome to the Manhattan Community Board for Cannabis Task Force. I do need to read a statement. We have adopted a hybrid policy that can be found on our website. Board members are expected to attend meetings in person unless they have disability or an extraordinary circumstance. Excused members and members of the public will still be able to participate virtually. And members who are joining via Zoom must leave their cameras on. We do not have any members that are joining on Zoom this evening. The meeting is being streamed live on our YouTube channel and a transcript is being recorded. So with that, we're going to open the meeting. So as I mentioned, this is the Cannabis Task Force of Manhattan Community Board 4. And just, it does not look like we have broad members of the public. We have folks that are presenting, but for those that will watch online, just to understand that the purpose of this task force is for the board to participate in the process that has been put forth by the New York state law that was implemented to legalize cannabis. And we are seeing and hearing from folks that want to open up some type of cannabis business. There are varying categories. And we are hearing from them that are looking to open up these businesses within our community. Our role as a community board is to determine whether or not the establishment, the location, other things are appropriate, and we advocate for our community with that in mind. So we are not discussing the illegal cannabis shops. However, we welcome any community input if it does happen to be about that, and we will provide appropriate guidance on how to manage that situation as we're all managing it together. Okay, and with that, just a note on the agenda, we were going to hear from 743 9th Avenue, 51st Street. They have postponed till October. So we are going to move on to the second item, which is CNBS 27 Inc. DBA VereLeaf, which is at 383 8th Avenue. And that is between 29th and 30th Streets. I will ask if there's anyone that is in the attendee section that is representing the DBA VereLeaf. If you could please raise your virtual hand and we'll bring you over. Welcome, Jay. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. So
Hi.
we've received the responses to our questionnaire from you, and what we would like to have the opportunities to provide the broader public with a little bit of insight into what you're looking to do at this location, a little bit about your operation, your background, et cetera, and then we'll open it up to questions from the task force and then the public if they have any as well.
Hey, sure. Thank you for the opportunity today. And my name is Jay. And Joe, I think Joe is still muted. Just click on the audio button. Bottom left. Yeah.
Can you hear me? I'm in.
Hi.
Thank you for having us. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening.
Okay.
We can hear you. Thank you, Joe.
So we are CNBS 27 INC DBA VereLeaf, located at 383 8th Avenue, New York, 10001. We received the OCM license number for the record, OCM RETL 24000105, and license type was adult use retail dispensary license. And our general operation will be employed by 5 full-time staff, including a store manager. Sorry, three full-time staff and 3 part-time staff, including 2 security guards. Our store will be in operation from Monday through Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. And product to be carried, obviously all these are OCM approved tested cannabis product, including flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, that is gummy tablets and drinks, as well as disposable vapes and cannabis dispensary. We have a POS in place, will be Blaze Retail, and we are preparing to our opening because the location is going through some construction, and as soon as we get a TCO, we're ready to operate within maybe a month or 2. And once we get TCO, we get inspected by the OCM, and then we'll go into the operation. So I just want to add what kind of benefit that will bring to the Community Board 4, if I may. I think there's 2 benefits that will bring to the Community Board 4. One is health, and the other one is community image. First, health perspective, through the Office of the Cannabis Management Adult Use Cannabis Program, improve access to the safer, tested product for consumers in Community Board 4. The product is monitored from seed to the point of sale with full information on the product. Right now, as you could see, we have many stores selling whatever product, and we really don't know what they're buying. Therefore, every item that we sell will be regulated and sold, including the proving that it is approved by New York State Cannabis with the universal symbol designated as its tested and regulated product. So you are getting a sure thing. And every product we purchase will be monitored by OCM from farm, from the seed, where it came from, who packaged it, and who is distributing it, and who is delivering the product to us, ensuring every accountability to every process from seed to the point of sale. In summary, by delivering a safe and accountable product, ensure that the consumer at Community Board 4 is getting a real product, protecting their health. Secondly is community image improvement. Today, when you look around Community 4, it looks really ugly with 1 or 2 illegal dispensaries, literally every block. It really lowers the community district image in the neighborhood. When you look at the vicinity of our location, 383 8th Avenue, there are practically 7 to 8 dispensaries within 1,000 feet. By operating 1 licensed store at 383 8th Avenue, you're not going to have any store within 1,000 feet. Therefore, you're going to get rid of all those 7, 8 other illegal dispensaries, considerably improving the image of the community. And OCM is diligently working with the New York Police and other law enforcement to get rid of all this illegal dispensary. It's just a matter of time that they disappear. Therefore, community benefit to a community will be their health by getting a real product and considerably improving the image.
Great. Thank you very much, Joe. I just off the bat have 2 questions. Wondering whether or not you already have a connection to this community, and if you can describe a little bit of the outreach that you may have done, and if so, what type of responses have you heard directly from the community that is in the vicinity?
Yes, we look into our Community Board 4, and there's a 2 block association. One is very important entity, which is a Midtown South Police Precinct. And we reached out to them a couple times and left messages, etc. It's really hard to communicate to them. So before we open, we like to visit that police precinct and kind of introduce ourselves, maintaining a contact with very important law enforcement. Secondly, Council of Chelsea Block Association. We reach out to them, letting them know that we'll be opening soon at 383 8th Avenue.
And have you had any response from CCBA?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, great. Open it up, Tina?
I mean, just as a follow-up to that, I noticed that there's a notice that is in your packet that announcing the meeting. I'm curious where that notice was posted. Whether it was visible, particularly, was it visible to the big apartment building across the street, and was it on the street anywhere? Is that
As instructed, we have posted the notice to the entrance of the 383 8th Avenue. Is that what you're talking about, ma'am?
Okay,
Yeah,
so they posted on the
And we
location.
posted it and we forwarded the picture to the Community Board 4 office.
oh, okay, I didn't see it.
I don't sometimes include the
Okay.
photo, but I can do so going forward.
No, that's fine, as long as it was posted. And did you receive any response to that posting? Did anyone contact you from the building across the street? It's a pretty big building.
No, ma'am.
Joe, can I ask a question? I'm sorry, real quickly, just in terms of outreach, because we did send you a full list. Hi, this is Jesse from Community Board 4. I'm the district manager, the gentleman you've been communicating, I think either you or Jay, I'm not sure, with since the beginning. Included in that list of folks to contact besides CCBA was London Terrace. Not London Terrace, I'm sorry, Manhattan Plaza. No,
No,
what am I talking about?
London Terrace is right, because it's on 25th Street.
No, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, 29th?
Maybe
29.
29, maybe one of the 10 buildings?
Yeah.
And south.
Penn South, yeah. Penn South is the Penn South. Board was on that list as well. Can you confirm whether you reached out to them as well?
If I may, so I did receive your email, asking us to reach out the Block Association nearby. And we went to Community Board 4 website, and we found those two associations that Joe mentioned existing nearby the location we're about to open the dispensary. And then to answer your question, other than these two, no, we haven't reached out to any other associations, but if it's required, yes, we will reach out to any associations that we need to reach out and let them know we're about to open dispensary at that location.
Yeah, no, so the purpose of me sending you the list was for you guys to take that list and send it out. Send sort of a blind, a BCC email out to the folks so they were aware of it. So I think if maybe that's one of the things we would ask you to do between now and the full board. So, that we can confirm that and you can copy me on that email. So you guys are covered in that you've done the appropriate amount of notification, because it's not just the two that you mentioned, which are important, very important, but it's a broader list that I sent you, which is the key there.
Okay, I'll go over your email once again, and then we'll reach out to all the associations that was listed on the email, and then we'll definitely send you the confirmation or responses that we received those associations.
And to Tina's point, we asked in the email as well, we asked you to post on the building, but also on the street corners. So I think at this point, the meeting is over, so because that's what our standard is, we ask you to do a street corner posting, but just so you're aware going forward, that's what we normally ask you to do, is both the building and the street corners.
So I wanted to address whether or not it's required. I mean, really at this stage, and maybe Jesse might be explaining a little bit about the timing, sir, in a moment. But just at this stage, what's really important is, Joe, as you mentioned about the appearance in our community and the fact that there's so many illegal shops that are open at the moment. For folks to understand that you are going to be a licensed legal establishment, it may be very helpful for you to start the communication with some of these groups so that they understand who you are, how you're gonna operate, and understand that there is a difference between what you're trying to do and what's already in the community.
Will do, yeah. We've been educating our community in general, not including our landlord. It's kind of tough to understand, but eventually they get it. And it's a good thing what's happening, legalizing all these legitimate license operations. I mean, look at the neighborhood. I mean, it looks horrible, right? You see, they're not supposed to post the picture of the cannabis and whatnot. It just looks horrible. And I think by us opening up, it's gonna get rid of all those legal operations and considerably improve the community image. And I agree to what you said. We also have to educate all, including community leaders alike. So we will definitely continue to pursue that task.
Thank you. And Jesse, can you take a moment just to give the broad public an understanding of the timing here?
Yeah, so as Joe explained, they're pretty much already approved. Joe and Jay, can you confirm what you said earlier? Just that you're not waiting on any more final approvals, board approvals from OCM. Is that correct? You'll have an inspection, but your final approval from OCM has already occurred?
Yes, we did submit our application and pay the license fees and everything the OCM required. And we did receive the final license in June, about 3 months ago. So the only thing pending is the OCM site inspection. So technically we're approved.
So for everybody in the room and for everybody listening online, and tell me if I get this wrong, Jay and Joe. Originally there was 2 locations you guys were thinking about. One of them was this and one of them was the other one. The other one did not end up obviously happening. There was a mistake done on our part slightly, that we thought this location was actually in CB5 because 8th Avenue was the border between CB5 and CB4. We thought it was on the east side of the 8th Avenue, so we sent them to CB5. If you notice on the 30-day notice form that it's got a stamp by from us, and then literally a stamp from CB5 as well. We realized that too late, so we missed our 30-day to 60-day review period, which is the normal chance that OCM gives. Obviously, OCM's very backed up, so that's why we're seeing this at this point in time.
Thank you for that. Yep. Any other questions from the task force? Okay. I mean, considering the information that Jesse just gave us, which is pretty key, that this is pretty much already licensed. Any recommendations on how we officially respond as a board on their application?
Do you do a motion to approve at this point, so it's approved already?
We can, if that's a motion, that's fine, and we can have a second, and we can have discussion on it, add anything else. So that's a motion to approve.
Do we have anybody from the community that is sitting on this?
I think everyone there is
For the next.
Does anybody who's in the attendee section want to speak on this application?
Oh, well, hello.
Our colleague. Yeah. Candace, I'm bringing you over now.
Hi, Candace.
Hey guys, I did walk by and I didn't notice that there was any kind of posting on the door. It was just a piece of paper and it had your license number, and it didn't even say like there was a community board, like our original postings that we give out for the community boards. That wasn't on the actual door. It was just I don't know if I missed it somewhere, but I didn't see the posting on the door.
Oh, yes, I can explain that. So I've been communicating with Jesse, and then he told me to put the posting on the at the location. So we didn't receive any like official posting or guideline yet. So we just made our own posting based on like New York SLA's posting regulation. So we put that on, and then we forward that the proof of posting to community board for.
Yeah, there was nothing saying there was going to be a meeting about this. It was just, you know, like it just wasn't a regular posting. I was just like, let me jump on real quick and see if they're on. And luckily they are on. So I just wanted
Oh,
to.
yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of that, and then I wasn't aware of there was like no official posting. You community board wanted us to post, but if you can email that posting, I can definitely just go over and post the posting and replace the
Yeah.
posting we already have at the location.
So it's, at this point, the posting was to inform the public about this meeting, so in case they had concerns or issues that they can address you directly. I think considering, one, you already have the license, two, the meeting is happening now, you know, both Tina and Candace noticing that it's not there, and we're pointing out that there's other block associations and community groups that we think are very important for you to engage with. I think that we would, as Jesse asked, is ahead of our full board meeting where we would vote on any motion, that you start working on outreach to the community so they understand who you are and what is going to be going into that location. So I'm gonna pause right there because we had a motion to approve, and I don't know if that was a motion or if you wanna amend it or anything, or.
No, it's just that I want to make certain that whatever is posted is very clear. Stating when it will be, where it will be, that's all, just to correct.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, I have to say, unfortunately, I'd have to push back on this. I mean, I sent you a specific posting. I'm looking at it, and a list of folks to reach out to with a certain deadlines to meet. I mean, I certainly can go back and make sure that was sent to you, but I think I hate to be bearing, but I think if we want to move forward with a motion on this, I think we would have to, I don't think the posting at this point, as Dolores said, is, I mean, we could say that for them to, folks can come to the full board, but I don't know if that's really an effective way of doing it. I do think requiring them to do outreach, evidence of outreach, and then hopefully making contact with CCDA and Penn South and things like that you could do approve with that condition that, and if that condition is not met, you're not making, the letter doesn't go forward on full board. That would be my suggestion.
Okay, so, okay, so what I'm hearing is that there is a motion to approve with the condition that the applicant does sufficient outreach to the community organizations and provide us with the feedback that they've received from those community organizations. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? All right, that's unanimous. So thank you. So what we are, again, we are approving with the condition that you do the outreach. Again, please go back to the emails that Jesse sent. There is a very specific list of organizations with their contact information. Please reach out to them. Please also provide us with the feedback that you've received. And our full board meeting, where it gets voted on by the entire body of the community board, is the first Wednesday of the month, and that will be
Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, for Yom Kippur, is it? Yom Kippur is a week. So we'll be meeting on Tuesday, October first. Sorry, so automatically go Wednesday.
No, it makes sense.
So thank you very much. We appreciate you coming this evening and providing us the more insight into your into your business. Thank you.
And Joe and Jay, let's talk tomorrow, okay? And so we can make sure you guys have the right, know who you're contacting and how to do it, all right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next and last applicant that we're reviewing today, which is at 645 9th Avenue, which is between 45 and 46 streets. It's Bellerose Migrant Center, Inc. If we have anyone that's from the Bellerose Migrant Center, Inc. If you can raise your virtual hand and we'll bring you over. Hello, Dan.
Hi, I'm
Nice
a
to
little
meet you.
nervous. Hi, nice to meet you guys. How are you? I'm Dan Cogan. How are you?
Great, thank you. I think also Jeffrey Hoffman is with you as well.
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so.
We'll bring him over.
Great.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So, thank you for responding to our survey and providing that information. This is an opportunity for you to speak to the broader community and explain exactly what you're looking to do at 645 9th Avenue, and tell us a little bit about the operation and also how and let's see how this is, how you could demonstrate you're a good fit for the community.
All right, I'm in a speech. I'm nervous. Let me read it. All right. All right. Hi, my name is Danny Cogan. I represent 645 9th Avenue, OCM Retail 2023000650. Retail cannabis adult use dispensary. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have 20 years in retail and healthcare experience. I own Cohen's Fashion Optical. So we are 3 steps, Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The store will be open, I guess. We do flowers, pre-rolls, gummies. Again, it's all based on OCM's discretion. We have a POS from, whatever the OCM will recommend. Everything is going to be whatever the OCM is going to recommend, and we are going to be compliant through OCM. They're going to be a security check IDs. Everything is going to be the benefits with to the health, safety. Everything is going to. All right, let me slow down a little. I apologize. I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We don't bite.
All right, that's good. So the safety is, when somebody purchases, things with the illegal stores, we don't know where the product is coming from. We don't know what is approved through this license, dispensaries. Everything is tested through New York City, New York State. It all gets tested, monitors from the OCM, and it's all approved from the OCM and from the New York State. So it's all, health-wise, and it's all safety reasons, and it's nobody's selling it to underage, on 46th Street, 45th Street, 9th Avenue. It's a big concern in that area because, like I emailed you guys pictures. I personally don't smoke weed, but I walked into that area. There's so many illegal stores there that I personally walked in, and I purchased cannabis from there, and I witnessed, kids underage purchasing product, and it's very sad because, there's a shelter, the Row Hotel, 1 block over, and all those, migrants are going there purchasing, and it's very sad that I don't want somebody to get hurt. And, all those stores. That's why they on one block there. It's just and it's across the street from 645 9th Avenue. Just four illegal stores on one block, and we're on a corner store, and there's 4 illegal stores, and I took pictures and it's very sad from the community, and that's why I'm trying to be involved, because I'm also involved with the mayor's office. I'm also involved with the New York City Emergency Management. So I am involved in the community, and I do a lot. And I'm happy to be in the community for, and I'm nervous, and I want to be involved with you guys, and I'll do whatever it is you guys want me to do.
Great, thank you, Dan. I know you just mentioned that you're engaged with Office of Emergency Management and the
Yeah.
Mayor's Office. Just wondering what connections that you have directly with the community that you plan to be opening, and if you can talk a little bit about some of the outreach you may have already done to some of the community organizations in the neighborhood.
So with the Row Hotel, I was actually involved with the Row Hotel, with the shelters. So I do involve with the migrants, and with the Red Cross. I also do involve with the Red Cross, and with ORC, BRC. I do that's more with the migrants, giving them food and the homeless and things like that. So I am familiar with that area. And we do have a store on 42nd Street and 9th Avenue, Cohen's Fashion Optical. So I am aware of that area. So I'm well aware with Times Square. And I also own a store on 57th Street and between 7th and 8th Avenue. So I'm well aware of that area.
Great, thank you. Any questions?
Sure. Hi, I noticed on the application, you mentioned that you did not have experience with cannabis.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't smoke weed. But it's retail. So it's retail. So I am experienced with retail. Like I said, I've been involved with retail for over 20 years.
Right. My question is, how will you educate yourself about cannabis? Will you have someone to help you, consultant?
I actually took I took a course with a SBA. Actually offers the all those courses. So I am involved with the courses. I am involved with all those SBA courses. So I am educated. I have the classes, the certificates, and I'm still taking the courses. So I am doing all the courses that's possible that needs to do.
Sure. Something else.
So I'm learning. Every day I'm learning new things. Every day I'm learning.
Certainly. Also on the application, I noticed you said that you will not be taking orders over the phone or by telephone. However, you did say that you will opt to do deliveries. How would that work?
I said delivers. Did I say
yes.
I'm gonna do?
You said yes to the question.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood. Today?
I'm sorry? No, I'm not sure when you completed it.
On the
The
survey,
application.
the survey that we sent you. So do you intend to do delivery?
I don't think I would do deliveries because I think that's. I don't think I would do delivery. I think I would just. I don't think I would do deliveries. I apologize if I wrote yes. I don't think I would do delivery.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the miscommunication. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. That's helpful to understand. No phone orders and no delivery. That makes sense. And so we were just asking about that. Sounded a little inconsistent.
Yeah, I understand. Sorry, I'm nervous.
That's okay. Any other questions from the committee, concerns? Tina?
I mean, I'm just sort of curious, because you mentioned you're involved in the community in many ways, but on your application, it says, I believe, that you live in the district. Do you live in the district?
I live in Brooklyn, but I am like I said, I own stores, so I'm actually there a lot, and I also like with the migrant centers, so I feel like I live there. I was just there like an hour ago, and I came back home to be in the Zoom call. So maybe that's where I live there, because I'm there. I was there. I'm there every day.
So you feel like a resident, and that's.
I feel like a resident. Yes.
So I just want to go back to have you had any outreach to any local organizations, any block associations, et cetera, just checking to see, because again, thank you for the work that you do with the migrants in our community. But just keeping it to that you're trying to open a cannabis business,
Yeah.
trying to find out if
Yeah.
you've had an opportunity to explain to the community who you are, what you're trying to do, and if you had any feedback.
So I got in touch with the Times Square alliances. So the Sheeta is the one who's actually telling me what to do with the right channels. So she told me to get in touch with the Times Square alliances, and so I got in touch with them, and the emails I emailed everybody that was that I got the email from Jesse, I guess. So I emailed everybody, and I'm trying to get involved with everybody.
Any responses at all to your?
I got a few responses, and I did reply back to them. Yes.
Dan, could you send me a copy of the email that you sent out, unless you already copied me on it?
I did actually. I CC'd you on a few of them. Yes.
Okay, I'll find it then. I
Yes.
apologize.
Yes. I did CC you on a few of them, and whatever I did, and I can forward you everything. Yes.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what was the responses from those that responded to your email?
Some of them said they're no longer there, and they gave me other emails to reply to. Some of them just say thank you, and I said have a good night or have a good evening. Some of them just said they're no longer there, and they referred me to a different email to a different contact person, basically.
I think that if you were listening in to us speaking to the other applicant, and what's really important is that, again, you're mentioning it already, there's a lot of illegal activity in the community. And so there's a lot of misunderstanding about who they are and who those that are trying to run legitimate businesses. And so it's very important to connect with the community so that there is an understanding about what you're trying to bring. So we're gonna ask the same thing, is that you work on that outreach and provide us with the feedback that you're receiving so that we at least know that the community knows who you are. I wanna just go back a little bit because you touched on that you would have security. Can you talk a little bit about what you're planning? I mean, clearly that block has seen a lot of activity that can be problematic. So I want to hear a little bit about your security.
So before anybody anybody goes into the store, we're gonna have like the ropes, and then we're gonna have a person check IDs before they can enter, and we're gonna scan their ID to make sure they're all over age, and then we're gonna let them enter. So basically, we're not gonna block the streets. So we're gonna have like the ropes, so they can just form a line. So we're not gonna block the pedestrians, so they can all walk through. So we're not gonna block the streets, to make sure that we're not gonna block the side streets, so that they're not gonna be an issue, so people can get through. So we're gonna form lines so everybody can, through the more towards the wall. So we're not gonna block anybody's traffic.
So please clarify, you are a corner.
Yes, it is a corner.
So that area is generally very congested. I'm sure you're already familiar. So just trying to confirm that if you do have a queue, or either just to check IDs, you're gonna be doing that along the side street, not on the avenue?
That is correct, yes.
And any other security measures that you have in place? Again,
And we're gonna have inside we're also gonna have yes.
Anybody else have any questions?
The whole idea also is to close down the illegal stores, basically, also.
Yeah, I would say, I think there's a couple key block associations there in that list.
Yeah.
That I think if you have not heard from
Yeah,
Dan.
exactly, yes, and I appreciate that list. That list is a very good list, thank you.
Oh, thank you. we try to keep it up to date, but it's hard because it's all community members. But I think there are some key block associations that let's confirm whether you have heard from them or not. And again, I also think it'd be really important to make sure that, so there are no surprises at full board, that, you know, you take the time between now and then to do that targeted outreach, try that, maybe have the conversations. And so, you know, we have a result from that conversation before October 1st, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina?
I mean, just to close the loop, I assume you posted the notice
Yeah.
on your storefront, correct?
Yes, and I took pictures also, so I can forward the pictures as well.
And you received our notice, is that correct?
Yes, 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 yeah, of course.
Same notice. And they sent it all to everyone.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, great.
And so I have just one clarifying question, for the floor plan, just to clarify, no, and only employees will be in the, it's like the basement area?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Was they already approved like the other ones, or where are they in the process?
That's a great question, actually. Dan, can you answer that question of where you are in the?
What, like you said, OCM is very busy, and we're just waiting on the OCM final approval, so we're just waiting on them. So I guess we're final stages. We're just waiting on OCM. So it's almost approved. It's the final stages.
So similar to the other applications we've heard in the past, they have initial approval.
Yeah.
And then there's a window of opportunity for comment and then final approval.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anyone that is online that had any questions for this applicant? Hi, Patrick, welcome. You can unmute.
Whoops. Okay, am I unmuted now?
You are, hi.
Okay, very good. Well, okay, hi. I haven't been to a committee meeting in some time. Are we limited simply to questions or also to commentary related to our questions?
You're welcome to ask a question and you're welcome to make a comment.
Very good. Okay. Question one is, what is the genesis of your relationship with the Bellerose Migrant Center, and what is that specifically?
Okay, I own the company. Like I said, I was involved with the shelters. So it just
Well,
basically
shelters. When you say involved with the shelters, what does that mean?
In 2022, I believe, it's not a shelter. Okay. In 2022, when the pandemic, when this whole situation started, I was involved with sheltering and stuff like that with the migrants. But this is
right. But what specifically does that mean? Were you housing them in your basement? Were you
no, we had
Were you participating with a community organization?
We had a house of worship, and we were getting at the house of worship in Bellerose. That's what that's where the name came in, Queens.
Right, Bellerose, Queens. Okay.
Yeah. So but I just used the corporation. It's just a name. That's all.
Just to clarify, yeah. So Patrick, it's the name of the
That's all.
LLC company.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all.
Okay, so is the whole idea behind these being licensed by the state that there is supposed to be some direct community benefit partner? This is,
I mean, I just opened up another name, Cannabis NYC. I might change that to Cannabis NYC. I did just open up like a month ago a corporation called Cannabis NYC. So
Jeffrey, I saw you wanted to weigh in on this. What's the reality there of the necessity of having a not-for-profit partner or a?
I think when the application
that was Danny, stop. That was for the card license, which was the very first license that they issued, which went to the justice involved individuals.
Right.
There were two paths through which you could apply for a card license. One was with a qualifying business, and the other was as a qualifying nonprofit. That was only for the card license, which was the license that people applied for in September of 22. It is what most of the stores are that are open currently in the state. But the licenses that we're talking about today, well, I don't know about the first gentleman, but the license, Danny's license is a license that was applied for in the most recent application round, which was in November and December of 23.
Okay, so now it's open to retail operators, generally.
Yes.
speaking. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, and I think a couple of the questions that I had were already answered, that you had, you said yes to deliveries, but that now is a no. My
Yeah.
question was going to be, what is the delivery boundary?
Yeah,
But
I'm not
that's no
gonna-
longer relevant. Stanchions and ropes. I'm a Manhattan Plaza Tenants Association member and a community member, so we obviously have issues with anything that's going to be blocking the already slim sidewalks. We would like to help the community. I'm not quite sure. That seems a little vague to me. Like, can you give some specifics on, like, what does it mean? Like, this particular community, you're not a resident, you know, let me be clear. We're a little bit feeling saturated right now. So I think as you move forward in this, you're going to get even more pushback than what I'm offering you here tonight. Throughout the pandemic and even before, we have legitimately been overwhelmed by mental health issues, by crisis center and migrant housing issues.
Yeah.
And we're feeling a little bit worn out.
I understand.
Clearly, many of us believe that before any license should be issued, or that it should go forward from the community board task force, that the completion of the closure of the illegally opened cannabis centers be done first. We don't think that it's your job to do so by your presence, nor do we think that's possible. So just letting you know, we've been, you know, literally and figuratively under assault. And the customer that comes in, and I'm pro weed and pro licensing above all, but we also have a certain amount of overwhelming saturation in the neighborhood by buyers who are coming in, who are not from the neighborhood, and who are causing difficulties at a lot of the illegally run operations, most specifically issues with their security guards at the doors while they're trying to get in. So that's going to get you some pushback down the line. 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet. There are many of us that believe that while it may not technically be with 1,000 feet, and this is probably most relevant to you, Jeffrey, the number of playgrounds and schools and migrant centers and shelters and food operations just outside of that boundary in this neighborhood are countless. So that's kind of a useless value to us feet wise. I wrote the term vague involvements. I don't know what that means. I've already asked you about the genesis of Bellerose Migrant Center. Thank you for that. So generally speaking, we're seeking a period of relief here in the community where we'd like to have some quiet time, and it's not like that's even possible. But before a license goes forward, we'd like to have some downtime before we go on with the legal one. So that's just a general thing. Moratorium said that. Security guards, we're still in the middle of post-pandemic. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes here. Just another general comment that we don't feel like legitimately licensed operations are necessarily going to change or alter customer behavior, the type of customer that has been fond of coming and buying in Hell's Kitchen. It's still a bit of a free-for-all. Anyway, so you are a vendor, you're a retail operator. I'm a small business owner. I support small business owners. I see you're getting into a new business, but it also seems to me that you're a little bit unprepared to move forward in an application with what could be a dangerous business that you have no experience in.
It's not dangerous. It's
We're talking
retail.
about weed in a hugely transitional period.
It's okay. It's okay. It's retail.
So it seems like at this point, I'm saying this now to the task force, that you are seeing, and I'm sure I speak for many of my neighbors in MP and Plaza, that we strongly oppose this at this time. Support it generally.
I was involved in the Row Hotel in the mental health and all that, just so you know, for over a year. I know everything
Yeah.
about that shelter.
Yeah.
Just so you understand.
We're talking about a weed sales business within 500 feet of our building, though. So
I understand.
Patrick wrap up his remarks.
copy that. Okay, we think it's a cursory application done with tenuous relevance.
And I have a store
We oppose it
all
strongly.
around.
Please don't interrupt me while I'm finishing. We
Okay, I
think it's a
apologize.
cursory application, incomplete, with tenuous relevance to the community, and we strongly oppose it. I strongly oppose it. I will not speak for my neighbors specifically.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Patrick. I just
At
wanted
this
to
time.
clarify
At this
before
time.
we go to Jeffrey, is that, again, what I mentioned at the beginning of this meeting is that there is a process in place that not only the state, but the city has put forth, that community boards engagement and involvement is around those that are trying to get legal licenses. Unfortunately, the task force is not tasked with evaluating whether or not people trying to start a legitimate business should or should not, because there's illegal. So they're two different tracks. I just wanted to mention that, Patrick. But again, it doesn't mean that it's not our concern and that there aren't other avenues that the board is taking to really help focus on the enforcement, but again, they're separate. So thank you, Patrick, for speaking and providing your point of view.
May I add one tiny little thing that was, it's not relevant to my opinion, but the only notice that we received was from your email to us. There was no posted notice. There was nothing in and around Manhattan Plaza. I did not notice anything on the venue. So important that we are feeling like we are just finding out about this week via the task force email.
Thank you. Jeffrey, I know you had your hand up, and Jeffrey, I just wanted to clarify your counsel for Dan.
That's correct.
Okay. Please go ahead. Okay.
So I just want to thank Mr. Shields for his comments. I'm very sympathetic to his position. He presented his information very eloquently. I've got hundreds of clients in this industry here in the city, and this was one of the most professional presentations by a member of the public to join a meeting. So I thank him for his comments and really appreciate it. We've had some not so good back and forth in some meetings. I do just want to point out a few things. I was actually at City Hall testifying today about the enforcement efforts. Opening legal stores is absolutely the #1 way to combat the illegal stores. The reason why we have so many illegal stores is because the state legalized without having a cannabis retail paradigm in place. Most of the other states that have legalized, once they legalized adult use cannabis, they immediately allow the medical providers in the state to then provide a retail channel for people. Unfortunately, despite us attorneys kind of talking with the state about this, what the state ended up doing was legalizing without a retail paradigm for consumers to get cannabis. And that is why we have many, many thousands of illicit stores in the city and across the state, because they didn't really get the cart and the horse right as far as how they started this. But I can just tell you, sir, that from experience, there is no question that the #1 way to battle the illicit stores is to open legal stores. If you do not have legal stores for folks to shop at, they will absolutely go to the illicit stores. There is not really a care amongst the buying public as far as what they do there. If you do not give them the legal option, they will absolutely go to the illegal option. That being said, though, I absolutely respect your concerns. I live here in Manhattan. I'm very familiar with this part of Hell's Kitchen and the West Side. And I do think that Danny has had an exemplary career in retail. He will absolutely have an employee in charge. That is the official name of the individual at the dispensary that is responsible for everything that happens at the store. He will absolutely have an employee in charge with years of cannabis retail experience. So I do think that that will hopefully allay some of those other concerns. I do see you're raising your hand, sir, so I would welcome the dialogue with you. Go ahead. You're muted, sir.
Oh, so if I may. Sure. Thank you for that. One is it doesn't help us with what's on the ground now. So I appreciate the, your feedback in terms of the, what's going to happen. Perhaps it may prevent future stores, but it doesn't help us with what's on the ground and causing the trouble now. Two is I'm just curious, when did your legal relationship begin? When were you hired by Dan?
Very recently.
Like today, yesterday, for specifically for this meeting?
It was not specifically for this meeting, but it's been in the last, I don't know, Dan, week or two, right?
Okay.
But it wasn't for this meeting.
Thank
It
you.
was not for this meeting, just so you understand. It was not for this meeting.
So I just wanted to thank you, Patrick, for those comments. Just to note, this is a new industry, and over the last year, we've heard from many applicants that had varying amounts of experience, and many of them are self-educating or using the resources. So we are encouraged to hear, Danny, that you are taking the courses through SBA.
Yes.
We did have them present here at this task force to explain how they're trying to help small business owners understand and navigate this new industry. And of course, professionals like Mr. Hoffman are really key because they understand the legality of it and they help guide. So we do recognize that that is a step and something that we've asked other applicants who did not have access to legal help or education to go ahead and do that before moving forward. So, but thank you, Patrick, for providing the perspective of folks from your particular building. So I'll turn it back to the task force. Obviously hearing from the community, there are some concerns that are generally about the cannabis industry. And then there are some specific concerns about the experience of the operator. But just wanted to hear from the task force on any recommendations or motions that you may have.
I think that you can't do anything to change the current scenario. I think in terms of the operator, I love that he's taking courses and has retail experience, and so I think those are positives. It's the community outreach part that's the hardest part to grapple with. I mean, these hours are outrageous. It's 10 to 8. I think the stanchions on the sidewalk are worthy of conversation, especially at that corner. Just help me with the timeline again, because on VLP, well, we sometimes get to this point where it's like, it's just the community piece that's missing.
Right.
So sometimes that means that we ask them to come back the next month. But is that would that be an option given OCM?
I'm checking the timing on
I'm
that.
checking the timing.
Yeah. So Jesse is gonna check, because again, we've had situations where because of OCM's process, we either were past the point or either they already gave an approval without having community input. So we're just checking on the specifics.
So we received the 30-day notice on August 12th. And so I automatically asked for a 30-day extension. So that would be into October. That would be into October. So that'd be October 12th. So I mean, no, I'm sorry. Yes, right. Okay, so yeah, so we're up again. I mean,
Our task force meeting would be post their time period. I mean, I do think just in the same way that we spoke to the other applicant, that applicant already has the green light and already has a license and is ready to go. But here it sounds like they're just waiting for the final word from OCM. I think it's really key that we know that Danny has the opportunity to reach out to key community members and get the feedback and also maybe address whatever concerns those specific community members might be bringing up ahead of opening I think that's really important.
I think in that spirit, I'm inclined to approve with the amendment that we want him to do that outreach, to show proof of that outreach. And then again, we could rescind that by full board if we don't see that
Okay,
outreach.
do I have a second? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, again unanimous. So Danny, what we just discussed is very similar to the other applicant. We really would like to see the outreach, and again, understanding you're already connected in some ways to this community, it's specific outreach to these community groups, block associations, tenant associations in and around the vicinity of the location you intend to open. Jesse had sent that list. Again, it's about following up and following through, and then
Okay.
providing whatever that feedback, so that we all have an understanding that the community at large knows who you are, what you're doing, and is comfortable with your operation.
Okay, that's fair enough. No problem.
And Danny, let's talk again, and maybe if you want to include
Sorry.
Jeffrey, that's fine.
Absolutely.
The day tomorrow, and we can clarify specifically what groups off that list I think would be the most effective for your.
Great.
So- Sorry, Rodney, you had a follow-up?
Sure, I just wanted to, again, encourage you to make a note of the classes that you've taken, because that is a big deal. That adds a lot of.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to hearing your, the outcome of the outreach.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time this evening.
Great. Thank you. So let's see, let's just quickly check.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Patrick. Let's just quickly check, because there are a few other attendees, if there was any other items, anything from the task force in terms of new business concerns, issues, items?
You're done.
You with West person?
Yeah.
Were you here to bring up anything?
Oh, no, I'm just a resident. I'm just getting to know the.
Well, welcome. So we do have some attendees, just checking to see if there's anyone. Is there anyone that is online that had anything that they needed to bring up as new business concerns, issues, or I said, wow. That was me staying up too late and watching Star Wars episodes last night.
It doesn't look like we have any hands up.
Okay, so before we close out, though, what I would like is, Jesse, can you, please, we do have a protocol on our website, correct? For legal shops, did we put a protocol on our website?
I mean, when I had a report, you mean?
No, how to report, yeah.
Oh, I would have to double check. I want to say yes, but I want to double check.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if anyone is watching online, just wanted to note that while we were dealing with businesses that wanted to open that are legitimate businesses, we do have these strong concerns across the community with illicit shops. There are ways for us to go ahead and report those. You can do that through 311. You can do that through the OCM website. You can also contact the sheriff's office. And many members of NYPD have been deputized by the sheriff's office to also manage some of this process. The key is that unless we are actively providing information about where these trouble spots are, we don't have the opportunity for having enforcement work. So I do see, Jeffrey, you put your hand back up.
Yes, hi all. So I know in some of the meetings, the attorneys are kind of at odds with the CBs and all this. I want you guys, Jesse knows me. I'm Ellis's attorney at Verity, and we've talked some. I'm on your guys' team, and I want to help you guys. There's nothing I want more than these illicit stores closed. As I told you, I was at City Council testifying about it today. There's a lot of stuff we really can do. It's really squeezing the sheriff's office. And I would start making some noise about the landlords. One of the things that they have not done a lot so far, it is in the law about fining the landlords. But I don't know what planet we live on where the landlords just have no responsibility at all for the tenants that they lease to. Like, you lease it to them and all they care about is collecting a check. They don't even go back and check what the landlords are doing. I have proposed to folks up in the assembly that they need a bill where they come and inspect the place. The first time it's a $100,000 fine to the landlord. The second time it's a $500,000 fine to the landlord. And the third time they take the building. You'd have to take one building and the rest of the landlords in the state of New York would take care of the problem for you. I get that Rebney tends to own our politicians, so that may be a high climb for us, but I am all in on this effort. And if I can be of assistance to you guys in your effort to do this or speaking out to electeds about getting this stuff done, I'm all in. So Jesse knows how to get in touch with me, and I would be more than happy to work with you as we work through this together. Thank you.
Thank you. And it looks like we've inspired other Jeffreys to speak. I see another Jeffrey with a hand raised, Jeffrey Shore. Hi, Jeffrey, you're on. You can unmute.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I didn't understand the purposes of this meeting. I'm actually a lawyer also, but I saw cannabis, and I live in the Strand building at 500 West 43rd Street. I'm actually the vice president of the condo board. And in addition to the illegal stores, and we have one like in our building, adjacent to our building, a group of men have set up, they're selling cannabis on the street adjacent to that store. And they've actually now since Saturday set up a tent and we've been calling 911, 311. I've been in touch with our councilman's office. People are scared. They've gotten in fights with our building manager. They've gotten in fights with the Pink Trees illegal store. And we don't know what to do. Like, it's the talk of our building now. Like, they're literally sometimes 6 men. They give haircuts in that tent. They give out food, and they're selling pot. And I don't know if they're selling other drugs, but we're beside ourselves. And the police have come several times and basically have told us there's nothing they can do.
Okay.
So I will say this was discussed at today's hearing, this absolute issue. So what is happening is, as the sheriff is, and this may not be the situation where you are, sir, but what is happening is at some of the places where they're padlocking the stores, they are then opening on the sidewalks. Yes, this is 100%,
Right. Well,
100% happening. Hold on. And here's the problem you have. The sheriff has been given enforcement over the stores inside. Outside is NYPD. As Mr. Shore just said, I would encourage you at CB4 to reach out to city government, to the sheriff's office, to the NYPD. This is the next. I said in my comments today at the city council, we have now entered the cat and mouse game. The first thing the illegal stores did is they didn't open during the day. They open at night because, as we know, all the enforcement efforts are during the day. So they stay closed until 7 p.m. and then they open. The next thing they do is they start cutting the padlocks. The Empire store on Broadway and Canal, the sheriff came and padlocked it. It wasn't the next morning before they cut the padlock and were open again. And now the latest thing in the cat and mouse game is exactly what Mr. Shore is describing, that either when the store gets padlocked or they just feel like moving out onto the sidewalk anyway, they're going and doing that. Now, I will tell you, Mr. Shore, that there is an absolute way for us to go after the trucks and the carts that are doing this. Because you remember before we had Weed World and all these other people, the way you go after them is they do not have a vending license. You don't even have to go after them for the cannabis. You are not allowed to vend from a cart or a truck unless you have a vending license, and it's a permit. I mean, license permit, whatever. It's a vending permit from the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. That's how they closed down Weed World. And that is something that I think you could get them immediately on. If you see trucks or you see carts, call Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, get them to come out and do an inspection, and they can absolutely shut them down because none of those guys have a vending permit.
Great. So thank you very much for that additional information, Mr. Hoffman. And Mr. Shore, what I would say, if possible, if you could connect. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Jeffrey, I got your email, I think today, about the location there, right on, in front of your building. So I will follow up. It sounds like, I'll be honest with you, it does sound like there's a lot of enforcement and activity already involved, but we will do whatever.
I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
And we'll follow up, you said it's 43rd? So
yeah, it's on 10th Avenue between 42nd and 43rd on 10th Avenue. They're actually competing with the illegal one, and that's why they're getting in fights with them. But I had thought once the stores close, I had actually thought, now that I've seen this happen, that they're going to be more and more on the street. You know, we're like, it seems like these guys are the first, and it's just, and there are kids that walk to school on this route every day, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Thank you for bringing it to us.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
I'll be in touch, Jeffrey.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, well, I appreciate everything. I do have a motion to adjourn since we have nothing else on the agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Stand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan, we just ended the meeting. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Dan, are you with us though? You're on mute, Dan. Dan, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Okay, yes, I know exactly what he's talking. He's talking about Pink Tree, which is on 43rd and 10th. And I actually walked the area today, and he's right. There's a lot of kids selling cannabis without a license, walking around. And Pink Tree, I don't even know how they got a license, because if you Google that name, it's been always selling. They're on pending right now, and I don't even know how they even got pending, because that store used to always be illegal shop, and right now it's pending. I don't even know how it's pending, but that even store was always, you can Google it. It'll give you the reviews.
Yeah, my understanding of that, and maybe Jeffrey can confirm or deny this, but very sorry, no, maybe not. Is the pending statement is unfortunately become just the fact that they are outside of the 1,000 foot and they've applied.
Yeah.
And so like, it just sits there as pending. They do need to go up with a different word for it, because it shouldn't be pending.
So the bottom line is.
Yeah, well,
it is
because it was an illegal, it used to be an illegal store, and it's, that's the whole thing. It was an illegal cannabis store.
It is problematic, but just to conclude, I think what's important, what we're hearing is that there are many avenues for us to start beginning to close down some of the illicit shops, and it's really gonna take more than a village. It's gonna take vigilance for all of us when we see it, report it, use whatever levers that we have. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman, for mentioning about the trucks and not having the vending permits, because that is also another avenue for us to combat some of the illicit activity. So thank you, everybody. We have concluded the meeting, and we are going to be turning off the video. So have a good day.